Hey guys, welcome back. It's UK here with the October edition of my gaming blog, or vlog, how you put it. This will probably be a very short one, to be honest, because it's been a fairly quiet month for things. On the Warhammer front, I guess, it's all sort of like wound down towards the end of the year. We're still getting a few games of 40k played. But largely the club has been taken over on a Thursday night by people playing X-Wing, which is really good. It's an awesome game if you haven't tried it. And people are planning for a Warhammer Fantasy game or league in the new year. A couple of the guys have sort of decided they're ditching Games Workshop products though, and they are going to give a try of something called Drop Zone Commander, which I took a look at and went, it doesn't look that great, but if it's cheaper and you're enjoying it, go for it and we'll see what we can do. There's a lot of war games on the market, it seems, at the moment, and I just can't, some of the guys tried War Machine and Hordes. I just couldn't get into them. They just don't have the draw for me. But we're going to see if these sort of games take off. Then we'll see about trying to fit them into the club a little bit better than they currently are, and hopefully that should draw more people down. Since we seem to have lost most of the Magic players, I'm not entirely sure what's happened there. But speaking of Magic, I have finally sold my cards again. I had hoped that with the release of the 2014 edition and the Theros expansion sets, which are more Greco-Roman in feel than the usual fantasy fare Magic puts out, I thought might try and get me back into the game, but I really just can't be bothered. And I needed the money to pay some bills, so I've sold off all my Magic cards. And this time I swear to the gods that I will not start playing Magic again. I think X-Wing's going to take my money on that, I'm afraid. On the roleplay front, our Dark Heresy game has started coming in. Well, it had started to come back. We've done a couple of sessions. Now, unfortunately, due to some university commitments on the part of one of the players, it's been put on the back burner again. It's a little bit of a nuisance. Lately, we just don't seem to get into it before something else happens, and we have to let it slide for a few months. The Cthulhu game is still on hold. November looks like it's going to be very quiet for role-playing, I'm afraid. People are away, or other commitments for the end of the year, keeping them busy. The Rise of the Rune Lords campaign, we've managed to get 1 or 2 sessions in, and then it's going to drop off again, I think, for another month. Again, not a whole lot of luck. The Sunday night games, though, I forget what it's called now, Path of Fire, Adventure Path, that I'm playing in, is going quite nicely. After the unfortunate death of my ranger a few months back, or a few weeks back now, I suppose, I decided to go for a much more different character. I decided to go for the barbarian with the Titan Mauler archetype, and I'm quite enjoying the character. I don't power game particularly, but this one is really kind of, even on a basic level, is showing what it can do. So I am quite enjoying that. I think the GM is getting a little bit flustered that we're not taking the sort of hits or the amount of damage that he would like to try and put on us. But we're enjoying it, and that's the important thing. My game, as you may know from the last video I did, I started running the War of the Burning Sky Adventure Path for me in publishing. We've not done too badly so far. I'm finding as I go along it's a little bit awkward because it's some of the material in the modules are not particularly well placed. I'd have done a little bit better for ease, and also trying to scroll backwards and forwards on a laptop screen, because I only have them as PDF copies at the moment, is a little bit of a nuisance. But so far, the guys seem to be picking up to it really well. I'm getting good feedback from them, so that's fantastic. One thing we have got into lately, over the last week or two, is the new Pathfinder adventure card game. Now, I don't know whether you've seen this, but it's basically Rise of the Rune Lords, and it's kind of a mixture of, I suppose it's kind of a mixture of like a living card game, such as Fantasy Flight games do, and a deck building game. Because you start off with a character with a certain set of stats, special abilities. It uses the stats from Pathfinder, so you've got your strength, dex, con, and so forth. There's different dice values. Certain abilities you can do, such as stitching a card to heal, and healing is putting cards back in your deck, basically. But then, whatever quest you're doing, you have to deal random cards out from monster deck, barrier, allies, weapons, items, and so on. So you get a random deck, and you have to go through it trying to hunt the villains. And as you go, you add cards to your hand, and there's a certain number of cards you are allowed in your personal deck, based on what you are. So you might only be allowed 3 weapons, 1 armour, 2 spells, 1 ally, something like that. And after each scenario, you rebuild that deck out of what you've got and what you've just found. And so far, we're having a really good time with it. And the best thing about it is it can be played solo, and still works really, really well. It's kind of what I think Fantasy Flight wanted or needed their Lord of the Rings living card game to be. They really should take a look at this and see how it plays. So yeah, it's a hefty price. I didn't expect it to be quite as expensive as it was when I turned up to my local shop to buy it. I was a little bit whoa, but I bought it and I'm glad I did. We're getting a lot of enjoyment out of it. So check that one out if you can. Anyway, I'm not going to drag this out too much longer. That's pretty much where October's been. November's going to be even quieter, and I think December's going to be even quieter. But we shall see. Anyway, let me know what you guys have been up to the last month, and what campaigns you're running, what games you're going with. So, take care, and until next time, good gaming.